Hello friends, welcome. So today I had a project I was working on and I wanted to share these with you. These are just a couple of fabric clusters I was making for a friend in the Facebook group, and she had requested some clusters here, so I wanted to make a few and then also some extras to add in my Etsy shop as well. So if anyone's interested, everything will be in the description box below, everything that I'm using here. I just took out a couple of different kinds of lace that I got at, I believe this is like Joann's or Michael's. No, this one was Hobby Lobby. Sorry, just a mixture. This one I coffee dyed. I dipped in some coffee and just a bunch of different kinds of lace I took out. So if you want to go ahead and craft along with me, you can go ahead and take out your items as well, maybe some fabrics you have. This is canvas that I stamped on, and then just a bunch of different laces to make these clusters. So I really been into making these clusters using stamps and stamping on the fabric first. So I just take a piece of canvas and my stamping tool here, and then just add all of the little stamps that I'm going to use and stamp them onto this piece of canvas with some black permanent ink. And yeah, so that's pretty much the process. I kind of spread them out a little bit so that way when I rip it, it has some space, and then I like to just add some more fringe to the corners as well. So you kind of want to spread them out. I use all like these little kind of individual stamps here, as you can see, and spread them out nicely. Then I just go ahead and add some ink. I dab it on there a couple of times. Make sure that it's really good. And what I like about this tool here that I'm using is that it allows me to stamp right over it in the same place over again, so it's not like, messed up. You can go ahead and stamp over it and make it darker if you need to, and that's what I'm going to do. I normally stamp about twice, so I'm just cleaning any excess ink that was on there and rubbing it off so that it doesn't get onto the canvas here. And yeah, I just press down as so, and just want to give an even amount of pressure through the whole thing so that it can all be nicely put on the canvas. And yeah, you don't want it to move. Also, it's good if you have the magnets. I had lost the magnets for this thing, so it actually comes with like 2 magnets to hold the paper or fabric, whatever you have, onto the mat, or because yeah, it's really good to have, so that way you make sure that it doesn't shift around or move. So I'm being very careful here to make sure that it doesn't the fabric doesn't move, get out of place, or anything like that, so that way it's a nice clear image when it's stamped. You can see there the second stamp was perfect, nice and dark, what I was intending. So yeah, 2 times and it was good. And again, I'll have this tool here that I'm using in the description box below if anyone's interested. Item. And then the canvas here, so I just take a little bit and just cut the end and then tear it apart, so that way I get those ripped edges, like so, like all the frayed edges, and just kind of take out a couple of more of the little pieces of fabric, make sure it's all clear. And yeah, so that's really it. I really have a lot of fun making these. Yeah, and I think it's a really fun way to use up your stamps that you have. I've been collecting stamps for a little while now, and so I accumulated a bit, and I want to kind of use them all up. And I just really love stamping on fabric. It's really fun. I love the way it looks and the texture and all that. So yeah, this is just another fun way to use up your fabric scraps or even paper. I also did another video previously sharing 4 different ways to make clusters. I think I did some fabric, paper, lace, and then a combination of a few. So if you want to check that one out, if you're interested, listed here as well. And so I just wanted to share this little sewing machine that I got at the thrift store. You may have seen this in my previous video. I wanted to test out how it'll work with these clusters, if it would go through the fabric with the lace and all that. Yeah, and just test it out and see how it works. But I'm just kind of showing you, it's a real simple setup here. It's battery operated, and just, yeah, one thread on the top is needed, and that is it. So no bobbin thread in the middle here, in the bottom. So real simple setup. And then I also did pick up these trims recently. I took them out in case I would use them, but I don't think I ended up using any of these. And then I also did use some of this in the back for just more texture. And yeah, I thought it really went cute with this little birdie. Not sure if that's how I use it, but take out all the lace you have and any other little materials. This is pretty much what it'll look like. I made these in that previous video that I mentioned. And so yeah, now I'm just gonna go ahead and gather all the lace and cut them up, and start building these clusters. So real simple, just grab a couple of different pieces of lace and cut them down to size, and that is it. And you can maneuver them around how you like them to look. I try and make all of the different layers shown, so I move them around so that each layer is kind of shown there. Yeah, and that is pretty much it. This is a perfect project if you want to use up some little small stamps and a lot of your scraps. This is just a great project for that. I know I normally have a lot of scraps, but I've been using them, so yeah, I had to cut up some more pieces here. But I normally have like a lot of these little scraps lying around, and then I really like to use them for clusters like this, or to build like little snippet rolls, and to create like different patchwork. Like I did a patchwork cover that I put together from scraps, and yeah, it's just really fun. You can also make ruffles out of them and just all kinds of different little ephemera to jazz up your work. So I'll go ahead and link some of those videos below as well, and put a card here. I was looking at this trim again and just seeing like if I wanted to use any of these, but none of them were calling to me. I did like these for another project though, so I'm probably going to be using that in a future project. And yeah, just like I said, go through everything that you have and just try to pull things out that you feel inspired to use at that moment for the project. And you see how I just kind of maneuver them and lay them up so that all the layers are showing. And then I'm going to go ahead and sew around that. I'll give it like a little black border, a little black stitch. You can use whatever color you like. Also, the stamping, the ink doesn't have to necessarily be black. I just chose black because it's bold, and it just visually looks more appealing on the fabric to me. You can see it better, but you can literally choose any color, and you can even color these in with some fabric markers. That'll look really nice. I was thinking of doing that as well. I couldn't find my fabric markers, but I know specifically the person did ask for like um, neutral tone. She really likes neutral colors and so on. So yeah, like wasn't really trying to put too much color into these. Wanted to keep them all neutral for whatever her projects are that she's doing with them. So that's why I specifically chose these colors and so on. But yeah, if you're a person who likes color and all that type of stuff, you can definitely switch it up. I did another clusters video that I showed previously, and like I said, I mixed them up. I did pink, bright pinks, and all different colors, so you can go ahead and check that one out if you're interested. Okay, so now I'm setting up this little mini sewing machine. Again, it's battery operated, and this is very small. It's really intended for paper. It does say that you can do fabric, but clusters I think may have been a bit much for this because it's a little bulky and there's not much room on the bottom there. So I think this is like my second or third time using this machine. Um, and yeah, I'm just getting familiar with it and learning it. So just testing it out on different things and seeing, what works and what I need to do. I believe the needle ended up unthreading here, as you can see. So I had to rethread the needle again. Again, this is a lot of material. It's pretty bulky. So I'm testing its limits and seeing, how far I can push this little mini machine. It does go through fabric. Specifically, I'm using, a stretchy fabric, all kinds of different materials here. And some of it is really bulky and it's layered pretty thick. So, yeah, I'm pretty much pushing its limits here and seeing, what it is capable of doing. But it is possible, so I did want to note that it is possible to use one of these on the fabric and on these clusters. It just takes a little time. Like I said, you can see the needle kept unthreading. I kept having to play around with it and taking it back out, rethreading it, and so on. And then I had to move it around because you don't want to pull the thread because that can also break the needle and damage the machine. So you want to be very careful with these smaller machines because you really don't want to damage them in any way. I did mention in my last video that when I got this, there was some corrosion in the battery area, and so if that is the case with you, it looks like it's an older machine. I don't know the year. I got this at the thrift, so yeah, if anyone left batteries inside, over time they will, corrode and all that explode in there and can leave like some kind of like a green or bluish kind of liquid around there, and it dries up and it gets hard and you want to clean that off. If you're able to like clean it off thoroughly, it should work, and I was able to get this to work. So you can see here I'm just rethreading that needle again. I'm used to my bigger machine which threads itself, so I don't have to do all this threading of the needle. But yeah, if you have any older model, you have to thread it, that way it doesn't have like really a self-threading option there. But yeah, I did want to leave this in case anyone did have this. I know someone did message me saying that they also got the same machine, and I think they said they were missing the adapter, which I don't think I needed any adapter. I just put the batteries in and it was working good. You do have to keep, pressing up the footer up and down when you turn it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I did in the other video had to keep messing around with the tension because I switched out the thread. But other than that, it's pretty good. You can see it's sewing. It's doing its job. So yeah, that's my review on this little mini sewing machine. I really like it. I think it's convenient. If you are traveling, you can take it with you and you just want to add some quick stitching to a small project. Now, to use this for all of these clusters would have took a long time, and yeah, I would necessarily use this for like smaller projects and yeah, not so much clusters like this or fabric. It does take a little while, but as you can see, it's possible. And yeah, I think it worked. It did its job. I got some stitching. You can see the back there. I do like that you don't need the bobbin thread on the bottom. It's just one thread on the top and you're good to go. So I ended up taking all of these to the sewing machine downstairs and doing the rest, I believe. I may have tested out a few more on here just to see, but yeah, it would have took me a lot longer if I continued with this machine. Plus, I don't think this material was the best for it as well. It started to get chunky and yeah, stick to it. So anywho, that is my review on the little mini So Crafty sewing machine. If you have it, I think it's worth it because yeah, you don't need any footer or anything like that. There's no attachments. It's just battery operated, ready to go, and yeah, it's good for all of that. And I think it's a great beginner sewing machine as well. Easy to thread, and yeah. So I know like this video may sound a little choppy with my voice coming in and out because I had to keep stopping for different reasons, and then I'll record again, so the sound may not be the best, but bear with me, I'm trying my best here. So I am taking out some buttons that I had here on the side. I like to embellish these with buttons or beads, as you've seen in my last video as well. You can also sew on some different kind of jewels or charms. I end up just putting some bulb pins on the charm, so if the person wants to use the charm for something else, you can always take it off and use it on another project. But you can also sew in the charm. I think that'll look really cute as well. That's a little more permanent. I mean, it's not permanent, but you know, you'll have to cut it off if you want it out, opposed to, you know, just unclipping the pin and that's it. So I am also taking a neutral color thread for the buttons, and then I just have my little scissors here as well. Everything that I'm using, as I stated, will be in the description box below, if anyone's interested in any of the items that I'm using. And if they are Amazon links, they are affiliate links, so I receive a very, very small commission if you do click on those links and actually purchase something. But yeah, it's like pennies, like, so just wanted to note that. But anything is much appreciated, so if you do use my links, thank you very much. And yeah, this is it. It's pretty fun to make these clusters. I really like them, and once you start getting like all the materials together and everything out, it just starts coming together nicely. When you're doing the sewing, this is something that you can do from the couch, or you know, watching a movie in your bed or whatever. Like, this is not something you necessarily need to be at a table. I am at the table because I am recording the video, but normally, like, if I'm doing a lot of them, then I will just go, like, you know, to the couch and sew the rest of the beads. So something that you can really do from anywhere. I know when I used to be in the car at dance, I would take something that I can sew easily while I'm waiting. Yeah, so I can do like a quick project. This is one of those things that you can do, like slow stitching is one of those things that you can do to pass time as well, and you don't need that many products, right? Just a needle and a thread and some buttons or whatever you're gonna put on there. So yeah, not too many items needed for this, and you can see there I'm just attaching the buttons. I'm gonna do most of these off camera, but I did want to share with you a couple on camera on my process and how I did everything. You can see all of these. Like I said, I did do some zigzag stitch, and those were in the bigger machine, because the other machine obviously has only one stitch option, which is just a straight stitch. But you still could make some cool effects. Like if you go over the box again, you can make like a double box, as you can see there with the clock on the bottom. I think that looks really cool if you do like double stitching, like straight stitching, and do like a square around it, or a different kind of shape, or you could do like a triangle. So there's different ways that you can make different effects and styles, even with just a straight stitch. if that's what you wanted. But I did, like I said, take it to the machine downstairs that I have. It's a brother machine. I'll go ahead and link the one that I use in the description box below as well. And I just go ahead and did the zigzag stitch to the rest of those. Some of them I did the zigzag stitch as you see there. And yeah, there's different kind of stitching options that you can use. So normally when I put these buttons, I like to kind of cluster them together, two on one corner and then leave the other corner open for the bow pin and the charm. So you'll see that here I'm clustering the little buttons, and then I'll go ahead and add some glass beads to it as well. You're going to see those glass beads here in a moment. I got most of them, I believe, from Dollar Tree. A lot of these items you could get from Dollar Tree as well, right? They have like little trim lace that you can see there. I believe they may have canvas as well that you can use. If not, you can use just like a plain fabric. Doesn't necessarily have to be this, just white linen or whatever you can also stamp on as well. And then the buttons, they have a ton of buttons. They're like colorful buttons, and I think they might have some neutral colors. I don't remember, but I know I got like a bunch of like different color plastic buttons from there as well that you can use. So yeah, this definitely can be done just by a bunch of like Dollar Tree items and what have you. But now that Dollar Tree has gone up, to $1.25, I believe that sometimes I can find cheaper in other places as well, like under $1 and so on. So excuse me. So yeah, I mean, just look around. If you're looking for like a bargain, thrift stores always have like things like this, like lace and buttons. I know like I was using like curtains before, like laced curtains, around the bottom, or even some placemats, like lace placemats. They have a lot of those at the thrift store. These are just a few ideas if you're on a budget and looking for something like that. I normally love to shop thrift for that type of things. Yeah, and I've used like pillowcases and all sorts of things. So those are the glass beads that I got from Dollar Tree. You can see Crafter Square is their brand. So I just wanted to show you that there, and they're neutral colors, as you can see, like earth tony colors. So I'm going to be using those like browns and so on, and I think they went well with this project. So if you're crafting along with me, I hope you're enjoying the video and gaining lots of inspiration and ideas from this as well. And yeah, also don't forget, if you made it to this part of the video, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and then the bell icon will let you know anytime I upload a new video. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting lately. I noticed I did get a lot of new subscribers recently, and I would love for you guys to introduce yourself in the comments maybe. Yeah, whenever you feel comfortable. Yeah, I love getting to read the comments and seeing what people write and so on, and getting to know everyone. So yeah, also we have a Facebook group, and the link will be below if you would like to join us. We do a bunch of different swaps and so on. And like I said, this video was inspired by someone in the group because I wanted to make them clusters. They requested clusters for one of their wishes. And so, yeah, I decided to record this video of me making them clusters. And I will also probably have some of this either in my Macari. I'm thinking I was going to put it in my Etsy, but I think I just might put some in the Macari. So I will also have that link below if anyone's interested in purchasing these. Or you can also email me or anything like that. My email will be also below. So I just grabbed out some of these bow pins, as you can see here. All of the other buttons I added on off camera, like I said, as I was sitting on the couch and binging a show. And yeah, so I was actually, what was I watching? I think I was watching Farmer Wants a Wife. Yes, I watched that. So anyways, yeah, let me know if you also watched the show. and what you think. But anywho, yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead lastly add these bow pins with some charms that I handpicked, right? And I thought went with the image. So this one just says handmade with love. I thought I add that with the little flowers there, and then on the home that one says faith and so on. And I added the little what's that, the little chair, the little couch with the house, the couch button. I thought that went well. And yeah, again, you can also sew on these directly. If you don't have the bow pins, you can sew some charms on, or you can just skip this overall. You don't have to necessarily do that step at all, but you can add these clusters onto any page, a belly band, or any, like, just decorate your maybe cover to a book or anything like that. They're really fun to make, and I think they're like great additions to any journal. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. As I stated before, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the YouTubey things. I hope you got a lot of inspiration from this video, and I hope to see you soon in another video. If you have any suggestions, any video suggestions that you would like to see from me, you can also comment below, email me, however you want to communicate. All that information will be in the description box below. So this is all of them completely done. I love the way these came out. I love the way they feel, all the different textures, the beads, the buttons, the lace, the stamping, all the things I love, just coming together so nicely. You can also use sequins on these, but yeah, I will see you in another video. Thanks again for watching. Bye.